Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Cayne. We finally heard them say the name out loud so we know what it is, and we learned quite a bit. Turns out that it was a setup from the beginning for poor Hadley here. The person that she had a one night stand with turned out to be working for this agency, and then the agency paid for the hospital that she was going to get the abortion at the beginning of the game at, and then she woke up here very pregnant in this crazy alien mixture of things that I think are alien monsters. Here we have Julie Kern's PDA. So I think that's whose room we're actually in, but she had a picture of Jacob, so she's in love with Jacobs. We're not going to go through all this insanity too much. We're just trying to trying to figure out what's going on. There's some heavy themes going on in these conversations of people calling people daddy and mommy, and perversions of the general ideas of what those terms are. And I think that's part of the horror here. It's a real shame this isn't voice acted. This wouldn't be too much dialogue for the whole thing if the entire log just said April 5th and then read all this. This would only take a few seconds, but because it's written down, I really don't care to read it, particularly since most of these are just crazy things. But somewhere hidden in all of this, we probably have a code or a hint, and it's usually right at the bottom. It's kind of obviously always at the bottom, like oofungus. They say it's all inside the ventilation system and now it's starting to settle outside the vents. Maybe that's why everybody's getting food poisoning. How long has this stuff been around? It smells like old feet. And then we got some weird animations on these people. That's weird too. You have a PDA and it has a picture of you always in front of yourself. You're just always staring at yourself on your PDA. Imagine that. So unless there's something, we found a blank PDT, but we need a PDT template, and I think it's gonna get hooked up to our spine, and I wish we could zoom in and see Hadley's spine. But I wanted to see if possibly this voice recorder would work with radio. I don't think it will. I think we're going to go use Joseph Bruno's in Joseph's room to unlock his area. I like how they animated her. She's walking slowly. She's covering her stomach. We are here. This one is Danny Boland's room. This one's empty. This one's Dr. Adams. This one's Cindy McLean, which tells me either this one or maybe this way is Joseph Bruno's. So let's start walking this way. Oh man. What's going on? Let's start walking. It did not want to walk. Inclined metal floor. An incredible force has bent the metal platform. Okay. So maybe we need to use the whip with it. If it's not that, maybe it's the in the.
Hadley, what would your mother say?
And so we learned some things, stripper pole maybe, about her relationship with her mother, and it wasn't that great.
Turn it around, it may fit. Probably not.
That's an interesting response. in itself. We'll probably need to move some things together. So she didn't have the greatest relationships with her mother. Anyways. Let's try some of these. This with this.
Fudgesicles, that ain't gonna work.
With this. With this.
Crying out loud, what was I thinking?
With this. With this. With this. This and this.
I don't think it works that way. Crying out loud. What was I thinking?
A photograph signed Love Joseph furnished his lipstick in a suspicious stain in the corner. The politically correct term is exercise pole, not stripper pole. Alright, well. This one, we haven't entered a realm where we thought we could unlock doors just by force, have we? So I feel like there's gotta be something else to this. Because I can't get up there, so let's go back.
I love Juca-Cola. Love it.
They say it's made from people.
Juca-Cola is made of love and happiness.
There's a reference to Soylent Green, which is a pretty old movie, 70s. So I'm glad the reference is still, and people know the reference because it keeps getting re-referenced. It'll be a reference that's made 100 years from now, and people won't know the movie. Soylent Green is actually a pretty good reference to make, however, because in that movie there was a level of prostitutes that they would call furniture that were shortly mentioned in the story too, and that is kind of what they've just used Hadley here to make a baby, and I believe a clone baby at this. Stripper pole. Let's see if we can break some of these crates open.
Second thought. Nope.
I think there's more things here. But no, apparently not. So let's walk through here. She makes a joke.
Hi, friend. I'm Mal. Let's print the PDT together.
Okay. So we have a blank PDT. And we'll use it here.
Blank PDT accepted.
So we've got this kind of spinal cord thing, but we need a template, which means we need to go get the one in the other area, and we need a cryoregulator. The good news, I think, though, is that we've eliminated that item, so we don't have to worry about that. There is this other force field, but did we find a password for that area? Hmm. That's the words JB for a good time or scratched into the bark. Okay. Either I missed something or we don't have a containment chamber or anything like that. And we can't get in here. That's where we think Samantha is. More in blackness. That took a while to load. We've got several items new. So let's see if we can get this as a template off this floating corpse. No, we can't, but we do have a broken lever mechanism over here. That makes sense.
Turn it around, it might fit. Maybe if I jam it in. Second thought, that won't work.
Well, try this on the womb. Snapped off the base and disposed of. And it's really not this item plus this.
If I rotate it sideways. No. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Hadley, what'd your mother say?
Maybe if I'm supposed to use the blade with this to make a spear. Now I have a makeshift lever. Alright. Now we try it. So we got rid of 2 items, which is always good in a point and click adventure. The more items you eliminate, the better off you're going to be. Let's pull it, see what happens.
Holy Toledo. It's the worst that can happen.
That.
I'll be darned. Like cracking open a lobster. I think I'm gonna hurl.
Never did like seafood.
I think I'll be giving it a skip going forward.
So the uterus opened up and a bunch of gross things floated out.
Do this.
She's crawling towards it.
Whoa!
The entire body. Is that game over? Didn't see that happening, but I figured something needed to happen. Because if nothing happened, then we would have not been able to find a cryoregulator.
That was nasty.
That sure feels like a force in the game. Like there was supposed to be more gameplay and story in between there. Just to grab a person and have them swim out another area. Although this is kind of within the themes of what they're doing, and I like the themes. This isn't something you normally see in video games or in any art form too much of. So I imagine we are on the other side of Samantha, And this is Samantha, and we have this kneeling stone monument, and then this kneeling stone monument, and every time you hover over something it says something more in the bottom right corner, which I wish I would say out loud if I could click on it. There's actually too few things happening. Crumbling fingers seem to hesitate, perhaps with pious wonder, above the stasis pond. There's actually very little clicking going on in this game. It makes such a short experience, which isn't terrible in point and click adventures, because that helps reduce the crazy just wandering around and being confused that often happens in point and click adventures. Unfortunately, we've still experienced a little bit of that. The chef devourer of this perverse tableau, a limp body slouches between the cables and circuitry of its life support apparatus. I guess I'm supposed to go look at that.
What do you see?
Cayne. I think this is Henry Cayne.
Hendry is dead.
Well, hallelujah then. He's here.
Alive?
In stasis. Yes. I know you're in there. Trust me. I know. You don't have to remind me. I can feel you, all right?
So the baby's kicking her, and we're right in front of it. Prostrate human effigies, rapturous faces gaze into light, praying for the grace and absolution that will never come. Yeah, this is almost like a story. Like somebody wrote this first as a story and then converted it into a video game. Kneeling children, even the innocent, must grovel in this obscene beatitude. Ooh, that's a new word to me. Beatitude. Cryo control panel. A thermal controls that regulates the stasis pods. Sallow skin bulges around the thousands gossamer scars. Gossamer? That's a big word too. I don't know if that's the way you use that. The surgical seams of this patchwork messiah. That is big words. Nothing but an echo and stagnation looms in the darkness. And see, I wish we were zoomed in a little bit more too. You could have really framed this just about to this point and then moved the cryo control panel just a little bit to this point. And put it over her shoulder so you're looking at that perspective directly towards this guy. Maybe if it zooms in, they didn't have the textures high enough. And that's the issue.
It'll take months for you to thaw out.
So, like if we click and look at him, nothing. So we'll just walk back this way. But the door opened, by the way. Yeah, maybe it only looks good at this resolution, and if we got too close it would look bad or look too cartoony. There is a chance of that considering this is a very dark and spooky style of game, like a bright, colorful, cartoony animations wouldn't be what we would want. This is the wrong way, and I do not want to walk back over there and get pulled in. Did I fall in or was I pulled in? That seemed like we were pulled in by some kind of creatures, but then there's no mention of it. It seems odd. Yeah, that seems real weird, Because to me, it seemed like something pulled us in, and then there's just no mention of it. And then that starts to get to this whole nightmare mentality where this whole thing probably is just a nightmare, but things happen and then they're not mentioned at all. That you get into like a horror movie mentality where there might be a shadow that walks in the background and nobody sees it and nobody mentions it, and there's no real music cue or anything to encourage it. So you're left wondering, did I just dream that or imagine that, or did it really happen? And that's a pretty high level of horror you're trying to accomplish there, and I don't think that's what you should probably go for. So PDT streaked in blood and smashed beyond repair, but the data storage might still work, so we try to use that with this as a template.
PDT accepted.
Awesome. Glad I don't have to touch that again.
So we got a broken one, and now we just need the cryoregulator, and this is gonna not look great. It's a heavy-duty cryo unit for the regulations of cryostasis. Why would you even need that in the PDT? I don't know. Let's click on that and then use it.
Cryoregulator accepted.
Defrosted.
And see, we can see there's a brain here and a face, and it's just reflecting the face. So either this is a second jar with a face that's making that's moving, or this face is moving. It's front part of its face while the back side is not reacting at all. Let's go ahead and print the PDT.
Printed. Oh, wonderful. Your PDT has been printed. Oopsie. An incorrect cryoregulator has been used. An overload is imminent. Goodbye.
Man, she just blows everything up, doesn't she? And that whole time, it was saying on the screen, "Please kill me, please kill me."
The security system is reset. The elevator should be open, and I have a PDT.
It's screaming over the fire. So let's go ahead and get out of here before it sucks all the oxygen or burns me to death. So we're gonna run into the alien again. We have the brain emulation lab, or we have the elevator. Should we just go for the elevator, I guess?
No, I can't.
What's wrong?
The barrier is torn to pieces.
Be vigilant, Hadley. I'm counting on you.
Be brave. You can do this. You're doing it.
So we're either gonna run into the alien, or we're gonna make it. And we didn't need a code to open that final doorway.
Oh, come on.
And then it fades to black, and obviously. Well, interesting. Did I just lose the game? I did lose the game, but it put me back here. So, okay. In the world of cloning, let's not do that. And let's instead go to the brain emulation lab. So, most point-and-click adventure games, you don't die, ever. If you do die, hopefully it resets to something like that. That would really suck if it hadn't.
My dearest little girl, my sweet creature, you're alive. No, you, oh my girl. Yourself right now. Hadley, you need to go.
No.
And how is the masterpiece inside of you? Healthy, I hope. Quickly now, I'm sure. Our baby, Hadley.
Don't talk about my baby. Why did you take me?
You were the right person in the right place at the right time.
And before we get out of here,
Just get out of here. Not getting out. Security will be here soon. They'll set this all right. Just come with here. This is the safest part of the facility. Here, closer to me.
So this guy's this guy is behind a shield, plastic covered surgical chair. Here's Dr. Adams. We have a holographic saying this door is locked. We have a lacerated floor panel. And we have a PDA, so let's look at this. Fire suppression cylinder.
thing out there.
Samantha, that rule is a violation of genetics, but she is locked away. Joseph loading vent. Quite the action in our Joseph. He did die rather spectacularly.
Fence has been ripped open, and your experiment is going to tear us all to pieces.
No, all things will be safe very soon. Then we can carry on where we left off.
I said don't talk about my baby.
So, is there a real reason to use the fire suppression on the smoldering flames? Not really. Hmm. So we'll quickly just go over all of this to see if there's anything important in here. We now know who Samantha is. It's the monster. Seems like Dr. Adams here may have genetically engineered several of the people that work in this area, at the very least Hank. We're getting weird things in the screens in the force field. And this is probably just talking about how they specifically have put a baby in me of a clone.
Hadley, you can't leave me.
Alright. So there's a few things that to still know before we're done. We can go back this way, and with a PDT we can adjust the oxygen, but we don't really know what we're going to adjust the oxygen with unless we're going to use the fungus and just randomly know that we're supposed to use the fungus with the the environmental controls to kill Samantha to get to the elevator to hopefully escape. But we're going to have to figure that out, aren't we? There's still a little bit more of a game here. The whip, for instance, still hasn't found a solution or use. The glossy photo still hasn't found its use. The voice recorder hasn't found a use. We haven't actually used the PDT yet. The data records might also never find a use. But there's still a little bit more game. I thought, just for a second, what might have happened is that they wanted just to end this game quickly because, you know, this game is free. It is advertising Stasis. I still wouldn't be very surprised if it turns out that this game ties into Stasis in some way, or is just kind of a prequel to Stasis or a demo to Stasis, although it's kind of working so far. It's been long enough as far as gameplay time to be its own thing, so I wouldn't just call it a demo. That would be unfair, but it may just very well end on a cliffhanger. Anyways, I'm going to also end on a cliffhanger. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.